again. We're going to today discuss our results from our memory experiment. I put a bunch of stuff on graphs so that we can see what our results look like. And they're not very pretty. I'm going to start with, here's the first one. This is the overall memory. So what we did in this experiment, Wes was our control person. So he was drinking just plain old water because you would expect certain things to happen to people over time taking the same test and over and over again. So he is just our standard for us to compare by to see what happens to a normal person doing this. So, and then we have Anita, who is testing the effects of just the regular old coffee. And then Maggie and I were both on the Lion's Mane coffee, which we are sort of happy to not be on the Lion's Mane coffee
More
anymore.
than sorta.
I think I slept better when I was on the Lion's Mane, but
I had crazy drinks, but I did sleep longer and better, so there's that.
Maybe that's another experiment for another day. These memory tests were a series of tests, of different tasks we had to do, and they gave you a combined total. So the first graph I'm going to show is the combined total. So if we look at this graph, right there, doesn't look very good. On there, you can't see anything like consistent at all, really. I thought maybe there would be some consistency with Wes, and he's probably the most consistent. He's this black line here. This one here goes up here and over, and then he consistently went up. The red one, that's Anita. She also, after about the middle, consistently went up. And then the other two are Maggie and I. And we're kind of up and down and looking at it. Usually when you're doing a science, when you collect data like this, you're looking for what they call a line of best fit. You're trying to put in a line that'll catch most of the dots or get into a general pattern. I don't think we had any pattern. I don't think any of us had any pattern, which means it's not very conclusive. But this was just our overall scores. Now they did have different scores for different tests. So I put those on graphs too to see if anything changed. So this is the soft short-term memory. So what this test was giving you those numbers and seeing how many you could remember. They started with 1 or 2 numbers and they added numbers to it, see if you could remember more and more. I don't see a lot of consistency here either. Do you all? I'm not. I just, maybe it's all over the place. Nothing. But it did say that most people, the magic number for this test was 7 plus or minus 2, which means the average person can remember, the average short-term memory can, remember 5 to 9 digits. This memory, they say, doesn't usually last more than 18 seconds unless you practice it. This is your soft short. Then we got the hard short-term memory. This one I think we were a little more consistent about. This one, but there's no general trend of going up except for maybe West. You're this black line here. I don't know if you can tell the colors. So you went here and then you did start just going up. What this one is so that test they gave us, where you just had to gradually increase the number of numbers. This is how many numbers you can remember. So they say 4 is the average that people, or the people who have taken this test online, 4 is the most common number of numbers that people can remember. So, I mean, there's a trend there. Wes started about here, and then he started going up. He started remembering more of those digits. And this one, again, I don't think there's not a quantifiable data. Number and back. Isn't that one pretty? That's all over the place. This one is when they gave you the numbers and you had to tell the first one back or the second one back or the fourth one back. So this one is me down here. The first couple days, I didn't get how to do the test. I didn't know if you were supposed to tell the single digit or because they were 2-digit numbers for the most part. So I got 0 on this day because I was given just one number instead of the second number. Then I figured it out. But not a lot there either. You can see as a trend. Ours are too crazy. This is the last one, and this really.
Is this a calculation?
Yeah, this is the calculation. So they gave you the numbers, and you didn't have to just remember it. You had to do some math with it and then repeat it. So gave you the numbers, and then they said, now go back and add 3 to each of those numbers. So it does different stuff in your brain while you're trying to remember. It adds another element of memory because you're trying to do 2 things at once, basically. So I think it really says we can't do 2 things at once. So
wow.
It's just like all over the place, up and down.
For some reason, that one reminds me of a spider.
Oh, it does. It looks a lot like a spider.
Well, that one, it looks like it's pretty consistent. It looks like it goes down, then up, then down, then up.
Yeah. Are you talking about this one here? This one? Down, up, down, up. That's Maggie. So she had good days and bad days and then good days. So these are the days that she was all right. And then she had a nightmare this day about somebody in Walmart with a pocket knife. And then it was better.
I meant to tell you, I remembered something about that dream. That guy said, I know you got your stimulus check. So it was, in fact, that people that were being robbed because they got their stimulus check.
Now, the question is, have you been to Walmart since then?
It was crazy.
Yeah.
People can't follow arrows. I was one of them.
I ignored the arrows when I went through there. I was like, I'm not following arrows on the floor.
If I'm thinking about arrows on the floor, I'm like, what did I come down this?
Been to Walmart, the arrows tell you which direction you're supposed to be going up and down the aisle?
Yeah.
But now I don't know about Corbin or Barberville, but the one here in Manchester, like you would go down this way and you get to a breezeway in between or where it intersects across the aisle, and the next aisle straight over, you would be going the opposite way. You wouldn't be allowed to enter it. So you couldn't go like all the way down the aisle and then come all the way back. You went like halfway, you had to stop
and
do
turn
like
around.
a zigzag to go on down the aisle. So I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm just walking.
Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes I would come up on an aisle and it would be like pointing at me like, do not enter. And they have do not enter at the end of the aisles at Walmart. And I'm like, oh, man, I really just need, whatever that's right there. I'm not going to go all the way down and come back. So, and a lot of people were just not even paying attention to it,
I think they should have the directions up higher. They have it on the floor.
Yeah. And you have your buggy in front of you.
Most of the time you can't get people to wear pants at Walmart, so really.
Did they scan people for pocket knives before they went in? So
They did not, but I steered clear of the deodorant. Good thing we're on Zoom and not at work.
Did our student ever say how long it took her taking the supplement before she started noticing that her memory was better?
I got the impression that it started right away, but maybe I was wrong about that. But the supplement would have been, I looked up the supplement. It's a lot higher concentration than what we were getting in the coffee, and you're supposed to take it twice a day. So, I mean, that might be...
That could be why she had the results faster.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm thinking if you and Maggie continued on with more of the coffee, I think your scores would go up more.
You know, we did this experiment just randomly, but we did not get good results. So we could say that our test was really invalid because we're just all over the place. To be science, it's supposed to be reproducible. So, I mean, ours doesn't have any kind of reproducible effects, but we could change some things. I think that if we did it again, that there would be things to change.
Instead of coffee, do the supplement.
Yeah, that would be a big thing right there. I think that just narrowing it down to specifically the lion's mane as the different thing in what we were testing, I think would be a good thing.
Yeah.
And maybe test more. I mean, 10 days isn't a lot of time for anything to change, to be honest. I mean, that would be something to change too. I don't know. I'm not buying any more coffee. I'm still considering buying supplement. I actually looked at it the other day.
Mix it in.
Yeah.
You know, maybe our not sleeping is kind of a withdrawal effect.
Maybe it's because that coffee had less caffeine. Maybe it's a caffeine thing and not related to the coffee.
That's a good point.
Because it said it had half the caffeine as a regular cup of coffee. Maybe I just need to cut down on my caffeine in general.
Same. So I hadn't thought about that. That might be why I could not sleep last night. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the dream part though, I mean, I remember having a dream last night, but I don't remember what it was about. Whereas when we were doing the lion's mane, I had dreams that I still remember. So I really.
Which was one of the effects of the lion's mane.
Yeah, I mean, I think that maybe there's something to the whole psychedelic part of that mushroom that can't get it all out or something.
My dad said, "Don't use that lion's mane. It'll open your third eye." I was like, well, my third eye is open to like dreams about being robbed.
Well, do you all have anything you want to add today? Any interesting facts?
Apparently, banging your head against the wall for 1 hour burns 150 calories.
50 calories. So what does doing anything else for an hour do for you? That seems like a rough way to burn 150 calories. Yeah. 50 calories.
Well, I know if you jump rope for like 10 minutes, you burn like 400.
No, can't do that. No, 10 minutes to jump rope and
Versus how long do you have to bang your head against the wall?
For an hour. And I'm assuming that you're banging your own head because I think if you were banging someone else's head, there'd be more resistance and you'd burn more calories. But, you know, it's just a fun fact. There's no explanation. Oh, you can walk your dog for 45 minutes and burn 150 calories. So, less than an hour and burn the same amount.
There you go. And the dog gets exercise too. So,
yeah, and your head's not hurt.
Yeah, would be a better option, I thought.
Ooh, here's
I don't know how they figured that out. Who volunteered for that experiment?
Banging their head for an hour? It's probably they didn't. They probably figured out the energy output or something. It's probably all calculations and not any real banging. I don't know.
That's just disappointing because I think that would be a fun experiment to walk in on and see people just banging their head against the wall.